first archaeological site we are going to visit is a very important for the Christian apologetics inscription. Is the famous Erastus Inscription. Apostle Paul, according to his habit, when he wrote the letter to Romans from Corinth, he included a lot of greetings from many Corinthians. Among them, he included Erastus, the city treasurer. For us to understand who Erastus was, we should say some things about the city treasurer. Corinth was considered the richest city of the world at that time. And for the treasurer, there were elections. The civic office of a treasurer was an elective position. During the elections, during the pre-election time actually, the candidates had to offer infrastructure deeds and monuments to the city, and so the one who should be proved the richest was chosen for a while to be the treasurer. And that for two simple reasons. That time there were not schools teaching business administration, and so if somebody was able to become the richest citizen of the city, administrating his own wealth, definitely should be able to administrate also the public wealth, the wealth of the city. And second, a rich person has less possibilities to steal or to mistreat the public treasures than a poorer person. The treasurer was a person that very few people in the city could see him face to face, was guarded, and was a person that had a direct communication with the supreme Roman administration. And when he finished his office, he came back usually and he offered to the city more infrastructure deeds and treasures and monuments as a gift to the city for the honor to be trusted to serve the city as a treasurer. So you understand that Erastus was the richest citizen of the richest city of the world. Let's say somebody like Bill Gates today, in our modern terminology. That made the high critics, the rationalists of 19th century, these university professors who claimed atheism, influenced by the French Enlightenment, and they tried to prove that the New Testament is just a collection of Jewish Hellenized myths without a historical value. These people saw here a very good opportunity to support their arguments. So according to them, Apostle Paul was just a poor walking Jew preacher, weird and peculiar. And was for him totally impossible to have even a distant contact with such a personality like the treasurer of Corinth. So for them, here we have an obvious inaccuracy of the New Testament. They also use the meaning of the name Erastus to support this argument. The name Erastus is a very rare Greek name, not found in the literature or on inscriptions. It's found only some few times as a nickname. The name comes from the term eros, and means sexy. So, who could call his son sexy as an official name? Therefore, Apostle Paul here, who was not only very sneaky according to them, but also coward, being afraid his letter to be published before sent to Rome, in the end, he possibly could have trouble telling lies for such a personality of the city, decided, beside the title treasurer, to put a funny nickname and not the real name of the current treasurer. So according to them, the treasurer Erastus of the letter to Romans is just a made-up personality. A fake personality made up by Apostle Paul for his own reasons. A personality which never existed. And that until April 15 of 1929. When the American Archaeological School, digging at the area of the theater of Corinth, they found a pavement, and on the side of the pavement they found an inscription, the benefactor's inscription. The inscription was not in Greek, but was in Latin, while the city was a Greek-speaking city. That time, actually, even in Rome, the common language among the different communities was not Latin, but was Greek. And so we see Apostle Paul, a Roman citizen, writing to Romans in Greek, not in Latin. Latin was the language of the administration, so the benefactor should be a member of the Roman administration. And they were surprised to read on this inscription, which was precisely dated together with the pavement, middle 1st century AD, me, Erastus, the treasurer of the city, offer this pavement as a sign of my gratitude for the honor serving as a treasurer. The inscription brought upside down the whole argument of 19th century, proving once more the truth and the historicity of the New Testament, and disproved the scholars who tried to fight against the New Testament. Although the name Erastus is so rare and peculiar, in the New Testament is mentioned not just once, neither twice, but 3 times. We find his name first been mentioned in the letter to Romans, when Apostle Paul sends the greetings, and we can find his name in Romans 16:23. Gaius, my host and of the whole church, greets you. Erastus, the city treasurer, greets you, and Quartus, the brother. The second time when we find his name is in the book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 22. He said in Macedonia 2 of his helpers, Timothy and Erastus, and he stayed longer in Asia. The term helpers actually translates the Greek original term deacons. Deacon actually means the free will servant at that time. Was not yet a church office, but had the meaning of the classical dictionary. And the rationalists of 19th century were wondering, ironically, And we're asking, how is possible such a proud and rich Greek to become a free will servant to a poor walking Jew preacher? No way. Definitely we could speak about two Erastus, the poor one and another one, the rich one, if the name was not so rare and so peculiar. That makes us to be closer to the truth, to accept that here we have one person, the rich, who became the free will servant to the poor walking Jew preacher for his own reasons. And the last time when his name is mentioned in the New Testament is found in the last letter we have from Apostle Paul, the 2nd Timothy. And there I think we're going to be helped a little bit more to see how many Erastus were in Corinth. So 2 Timothy 4:20, Erastus stayed in Corinth, and I left Trophimus sick in Miletus. Here, either were more than one Erastus in Corinth related with Apostle Paul definitely should clarify to Timothy who of them. But we see here Apostle Paul speaking to Timothy about the Erastus, the well-known Erastus of Corinth.